Palantir, because this is another one of the major companies of our generation, of this last wave. What is that? It's worth $10 billion or something in that range?
It's something maybe a little north of there.
A little north of there. And you were an angel investor slash co-founder of this company.
Yes.
And how much was that company worth when you started and invested in it?
Well, we did the first angel round, like 800,000 valuation, and then we did a
$800,000 valuation.
Went up from there.
Yeah.
Convertible loans went up from there.
So, but you don't angel invest anymore. You just do venture capital now?
I don't know if there's really sort of a bright line. We do everything from seed to Series A to B, C, D, all the way up the spectrum. I would say my single overarching idea, both in my book Zero to One and
Yep.
in terms of investing, is that I believe, I think most people always tell you, most business books, most business advice, always how to be better at competing, how to compete more effectively. And I believe that the key is not to compete at all. The key is to do something that nobody else is doing. The politically incorrect word for it is that you should have a monopoly. We can debate at what points monopolies are good or bad for society, but from the inside, if you're a founder, early investor, early employee at a company, you always want to aim for monopoly. And so I'm ready to invest at whatever point I'm convinced it's going to be a monopoly.
And Facebook, you felt like this is going to be the dominant social network, and there'll be only one major one.
I'd like to say that I had that much figured out. I thought it would be dominant on college campuses, and that would be worth a lot more than $5 million. I didn't really think it was going to be quite as big as it turned out to be.
And there are some pretty big fights going on right now. I can think of Android versus iOS. This seems like a fight worth having. Is that a fight that Google shouldn't be in or Apple shouldn't be in, or too soon to tell?
Well, it's pretty core to Apple. I would argue it's not that core to Google. I mean, Google is fundamentally just a search engine, just a search company. That's where 98% of the revenue comes from. And then I think Google always likes to brand itself as a all-purpose technology company. So they're driving self-driving cars. You have Google Glasses. You have phone operating systems, balloons in outer space. But really 98% of it's a search engine. Everything else is probably a distraction.
And the fight with Microsoft you talk about in the book became a huge distraction for Microsoft. Do you think that the apps business, the Gmail apps business, has been a distraction for, and now they have an operating system, Chrome. You think that business at Google's not worth them spending too much time on? They should just keep with the search?
It's always complicated. I mean, sometimes you do have to fight. Sometimes it's existential, and you have no choice.